Professor Rakesh Sinha of the Bharatiya Janata Party is also now with us. Professor Sinha, you heard the views of Dr. Singhvi. I want to know from you, a bulk of the criticism is directed towards your party. That it is your party which is trying to fish in troubled waters, in fact create the trouble in the first place in Karnataka, in Madhya Pradesh and now in Rajasthan. First of all, a response to that.
You know, when you can't manage your own house, it is futile to make allegations on others. This is well-known facts that there is a factional fight between Sachin Pilot and Mr. Gehlot. This fight is not a new bet between the two. This is a protracted fight between the two. And the Congress leadership fails to resolve that. The reason is that, Sanket, the Congress has made a radical break from the past. During Mrs. Indira Gandhi's regime, there was a rule by oligarchy. At least there was a host of leaders in the Congress who used to rule. There was a gap between the workers and the leadership. Now this radical break led the party to be confined with 2 and 3 leaders. They take the decision without answering the question raised by the party leaders. And if you disagree, either you leave the party or you will be thrown out. This is the new political culture under Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. This is not an unobvious thing. Everybody is saying that. How party is facing the self-destruction. And only 3 people are indispensable in this party: Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. All others are can either remain in the party as a slave or can go outside the party. My concern is that Congress being one of the oldest party of the country, it has its own history. There was a period when Jawaharlal Nehru, there were a lot of leaders. There were some rightists, there were some leftists, and there was a battle of ideas within the Congress. And Congress has influenced the entire party system. But the decline, there's a progressive decline in the Congress. And no one is here to speak against this progressive decline because politics has become a career. When I am a careerist, I have to follow whatever I have been said. That is the tragedy of the Congress.
Okay. But you know, Professor Sinha, I asked this question to a lot of Congress members, and they seem to suggest that, you know, it's like saying that the next time don't blame a thief for stealing, blame yourself for not installing a good lock or a locking system at home. So stealing is not a crime. The crime is to not install a good door lock.
Now, where is the Bharatiya Janata Party?
I'm assuming in this context they're calling you the thief.
No, let me make it very clear to your audience. When there is a fight between the 2 leaders in the Congress, the High Command is not in the position to respond one of the leaders. There's a rule where whatever High Command decides, that is last word. And you cannot question the last word. The Congress party has become just like a Semitic religion. It has taken the form that everything is unquestionable, uncontestable. You have to remain under the guise of these 3 leaders. My point is that when the Congress party has not any direction, no leader, even the senior leaders who don't have any stake in the party, now they have lived the life of 8 decades almost 6 decades in the party. Now they are at the age of 75, 80. Even they are not speaking against this ruthlessness. What I call this troika is adopting the policy and politics of ruthlessness against their own leaders who have perspective. Another important thing is that any prospective leader who can command the sizable following or has a mobilizing capacity, not manipulative capacity, they are manipulated in such a way that they leave the party. The recent example, you know, 2 party spokesmen, they were small leaders. They were not the big leaders contesting Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, or they are aspiring the party presidency. 2 spokesmen who defended the party at the worst hour of the party. Many of them, I almost 100 times, I fought against them on ideological issues, on political issues. Sanjay Jha and Priyanka, both were thrown out from the party. Nobody knows the reason for they are being thrown out. So I think when you are creating a fiefdom, then democracy ends. This is a rejection
If
of
that is a
democracy.
problem with the Congress party, my final question to you, Professor Rakesh Sinha, is it incumbent on the BJP to accept all those who are unhappy in their regime, unhappy in the Congress's dispensation? And also, what's going to be the term of engagement? Because so far, I have no clue as to when an overture will be made by the BJP.
One thing I want to speak here, that when Rahul Gandhi, just like chameleon, wants to fit into all definitions of liberalism, but when party affairs come, he becomes an authoritarian. That is a difference. When he will go JNU, he will try to project him as a
Professor
as a
Sinha,
liberal.
my question, since I'm running out of time, my question to you was simple. What will be the terms of engagement as far as Sachin Pilot is concerned?
That I can't say. I told you that this is not under my purview, and I am not supposed to speak anything. And this question does not arise when it is a fight between the two leaders of the Congress. How does BJP come in this picture? But one final word I want to say that the decline of the Congress is final. There is no space for the Congress to get resurrected at this stage when all these three leaders consider that if they are safe, then the party is safe.
All right. Professor Rakesh Sinha, thank you so much for joining us on